Today's Friday. You know what that means. We have new content in MLB The Show 25 Diamond Dynasty, of course, and it's interesting. There's a lot that we're gonna have to talk about with this content drop. We'll get into it all in this video, but it's a little controversial. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll go over it all. But regardless, there's some cool stuff today, so let's get into it. And also, I just want to add one thing before we get into the content. Thank you guys so much for the support so far this year. It's been truly amazing to see all you guys supporting my content, so phenomenally. And it's super rewarding. And I know that like the past week and a half, 2 weeks, I've kind of not been posting that much. I've just been doing like content updates. I'm in college. I'm in finals right now. I have bigger priorities than MLB The Show and YouTube. So yeah, but finals are almost done. So once that's done, after this week, I'll be back to my regularly scheduled, videos. Anyway, looking at the calendar, today is May 9th. We got Weekend Classic number 2. We have the third inning XP reward path. We have new cornerstones, of course, with that XP reward path, new bosses. And then we have the start of the May spotlight. There's also a big thing regarding the April spotlight that they did for this update. Looking into the future on May 13th, which is this Tuesday, new multiplayer program, new World Series rewards, of course. New flawless rewards are going to be on Thursday. So we're going to be getting new content on Thursday with a new program. And then we have moons next Friday. So we're getting stuff Thursday and Friday next week. So let's start with the new XP reward path. I already locked in my vouchers, so I got the first cornerstone already. But let's just go to the important stuff first. Let's take a look at the bosses, and I think they're better. I would argue that the bosses are better than the second inning XP reward path. I didn't use any of those 3 cards once, and yeah, I understand I have like the best cards in the game, but I don't think many people use them anyway. Bernie Williams, this card destroys lefties and has great clutch. Righties a little lacking, especially in the power, but the clutch helps him a lot. Defenses in the silver, can only play center field. He is a switch hitter though. Like, this card is definitely better than the Griffey card that we got in the last XP reward path. But it's kind of frustrating when he only has 65 power versus righties. And the contact, it's good. It's a good player, but it's not like anything that wows you. I'm going to do Story second. He's kind of the same as Bernie Williams, great against lefties, not amazing against righties, 82-75. 91 clutch certainly helps him. Defensively, he's better than Bernie Williams, can only play short, good speed as well. Gagne is by far the easy choice out of your first pack, in my opinion. This is one of the best relievers, I would say. Over 100 in both per nines and clutch, has the velo, has the break, has outlier on the four seam, has the speed differentials with the slurve instead of the curveball. That is one of the best pitches in this game. This is curveball, which is now a slurve. This is the easy pick. But overall, besides Gagne, these bosses are they're not awful, but they're not amazing. Taking a look at the henchman, we have 91 Matt Cain. This card is, I'm actually higher on than most people. 98 hits per 9, 110 pitching clutch. Definitely works at this stage of the game. 101 stamina will definitely help. Pitch mix is great. The velocity could be a little better, but it's good enough, sitting at 94, 95 on the four seam. Speed differentials are pretty good. The change and slider are a little close, but besides that, overall pretty good card, good control, good break. I like this Matt Cain card. And then if we want to look at the cornerstones, we'll take a look at the golds first and then go to their programs. Gold Jim Palmer. These golds, no one's going to be using these golds. Justin Turner, this is a good BR card. Good against lefties, decent against righties with good clutch. And then Ralph Kiner, also another solid BR card. So let's check out the Evolution Diamonds now. They're all 90 overalls. Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer cards are just never good in this game. It's a shame because he was such a good pitcher in his actual career with the Orioles. Per nines are just not good enough. The clutch helps him a little. The stamina is really good. Pitch mix is decent. 12-6, the 12-6 curveball is just not a good pitch in this game. You'd rather that be a regular curveball or a slurve or a sweeper. The 12-6 is just not a good pitch in this game, in all honesty. So that hurts him. The velo is pretty solid. The control's good. The break is pretty good. He's not going to be awful, but he's not anything special, especially with those per nines. Moving to Justin Turner. This card is pretty solid. He's great against lefties. It's pretty much the same as Bernie Williams. You know, great against lefties, good contact versus righties, and good clutch. Okay defense. And then let's move over to Ralph Kiner, who is pretty good. You know, double 100 for the Bowers, and then 83, 86 contact, 85 clutch. Meh, defensively. Can only play left, too. Moving on to the May Spotlight drop. There was a 91 Kyle Stowers. This card is great against righties, bad against lefties, good clutch, okay defense, good arm, good speed, can play right, left, center, and first, so good defensive flexibility. I gotta say, the Topps Now cards in the program are probably the best that they've released. The Zach Ognos, is that how you say it? Cutter, splitter, four-seam sweeper for a closer. Doesn't have, or no, he has good velocity. 111 hits per 9, 100 pitching clutch. That's good. Ks per 9 could be a little higher, but everything else is pretty good. You know, cutter, splitter, four-seam sweeper. Pretty good pitch mix, of course, only missing the sinker. Good control, pretty good break. This is a great card for a Topps Now card in one of these programs, and then Kyle Manzardo is the same. Power, both in the 90s, contact could be a little higher, but for a Topps Now card, it's pretty solid at 82.79 with 85 clutch. That helps him. Can only play first. Pretty solid, or not pretty solid defense. Pretty meh defense, if you can even call it that. Weekend Classic is back. We have the second Weekend Classic. I'm going to go show you guys the two rewards, being Ryan Sandberg and Giancarlo Stanton. But before I do, I want to mention something. They added the April Spotlight packs for all the drops in the Weekend Classic. But the farther the drop, the higher up. So like, gold. I'm in gold 2. You know, I don't really like playing on Legend, so I just sit at gold 2. I think gold 1 has dropped 2. The one before gold 1 has dropped 1, and then the Legend, the 900s one has dropped 4, and then the Immortal one has dropped 5. But regardless, they're all going to go down in price, making Carlos Santana much more obtainable. But let's go check out the Ryan Sandberg and the Giancarlo Stanton. And this is an interesting topic, because if we take a look at this Ryan Sandberg, not amazing. I mean, yeah, 90s versus righties, good contact left, okay power. Clutch is only 78, defense is not the best. And if we take a look at Giancarlo Stanton, I would say Stanton is definitely better than Sandberg. Good power, 103, 108 power with 82, 90 contact and 80 clutch. Solid defense as well. This card is much better than Sandberg, but overall, these cards should be juiced. These cards should be some of the best cards in the game. You should really want to get these cards because they're the rewards in the highly competitive Weekend Classic mode. That's just the general consensus of the community for the Weekend Classic cards. But there's another consensus. Let's get into that now. Let's take a look at the cards in the May Spotlight Drop 1 pack. The first card is Maikel Garcia. Good contact and clutch. Good defensive flexibility. Really good defense and insane speed, of course. He's really good at stealing bases. Bailey Ober from the Twins. Not an amazing pitch mix. Not great velocity. The control is insane. The break is pretty good. But this card isn't phenomenal. The Topps Now cards, Jake Myers, nothing special here, especially on offense. The clutch helps him, and the defense is great, though. Daniel Schneemann, good against righties, bad against lefties, good clutch, can play 6 positions with a good arm and speed. And then we have Gunnar Hoglund from the A's. Good pitch mix. Controls, okay, break is pretty solid, you know, velocity could be a little better. But let's take a look at the Chase pack. There's no new headliner, by the way. It's still Troy Glaus. The Chase pack reward. Let's just talk about this Willi Castro by itself first. This card is insane. He's going for so many stubs, and yeah, he just came out. Right, it's going to go down. This card is unbelievable. 116 and 125 contact with 125 clutch, 86, 83 power. He's a switch hitter. His defense is not amazing, but it's in the silver, and he has a good arm. Can play short and third with 81 speed. This is probably definitely a top 10 card in the game, maybe top 5. That's a controversial take. This card is amazing. Willi Castro, the reason why they gave us this card is because he had a gold card or a silver card in BR from one of the hedgemen a couple years ago, and he was unbelievably good. So they gave us a juiced Willi Castro. This card alone is amazing, but it brings us back to the discussion of the content today. All the cards today, were they awful? No. Were they great? No. All the cards today, you can take Gagne out of the equation. That card is pretty good. Besides that, almost all the new content that came out today, number one, is worse than this Willi Castro card, which is in packs and is much more expensive to get, and you can't get them for free. Obviously, you can get them for free if you grind the game and you get the stubs, no money spent like I do. But it's so much harder to get them without spending money. It is possible, I'm going to say that, but it's much more difficult. All the content today, I mean, the cards are all platoon cards. Like, most of them destroy lefties, right? Or they destroy righties, and they're not good against both sides. And I know sometimes that's going to happen with the power creep being early in the game. Cards aren't going to be as good. But it's just frustrating when the only good card that comes out is the chase card. You know, that's why the community is so upset right now, and rightfully so. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe right here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.